Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I thought I would get on here and do some meditations. It is currently 8:10 p.m. I just put in a Gino's frozen pizza into the oven for Alex and I tonight. He's upstairs catching up on TV shows. And I was going to make some videos, and then I got on the computer and I started looking at trips. We're wanting to take a trip maybe over New Year's this year, and so I was just kind of looking up different trip deals that are out there right now, and so I just kind of got dreamy in my head, and I had pulled out these two meditation books. I haven't read these, but I kind of skimmed over them, and they kind of spoke to me today. And I think to some degree they're about being true to yourself and, you know, changing. Well, we're going to find out what they're about in just a second. But being true to yourself and changing over time and whatever. And, you know, in the last year, this has been a real year of change for me. A real year of inventory and evaluation. And, you know, I just put 3 videos up on my Peter Monn channel talking about kind of some change that I've gone through in the last year in regards to me being on YouTube, specifically on that channel. But I think if you watch this channel, or if you watch my vlog channel on a regular basis, those videos probably wouldn't be a surprise to you. You probably would be like, okay, I saw this coming for quite some time, because Peter has really been taking, you know, inventory of his life, evaluation of his life, of who he was and who he is today, and who I want to be going forward. And, you know, so I was thinking about that the last couple days since I've made these videos, and I was really thinking about, okay, now this is what I've done in 2019, is I've done so much reflection on who I was and who I am today. So what do I want? And it's been liberating. I mean, it's been really liberating. And so I was thinking, you know, who do I want to be in 2020 going forward? You know, do I want to focus on my dreams and my bucket list kind of things? Of which, you know, it's funny when people talk about this bucket list thing. I don't have tons of stuff on my bucket list. And I don't know if that, you know, is sad that I'm not a big dreamer like that. I am a big dreamer, you know, but I think it's because I'm very content with my life. And so it's like, if I get to do these things, you know, before I die, that's great. But if not, then I have been blessed to have the life that I have. I feel very blessed. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. And not a day goes by that I'm not grateful for that, or thankful, you know, for all the gifts that have been given to me, which, in all honesty, all are rooted in December 17th of 1994, which is the date that I got sober. Coming up on that December 17th, if I make it there, which is what we say in recovery, I'll have been sober 25 years. The last 25 years have been surreal. They've been tough. They've been challenging. They have been amazing. I have met some of the most incredible people in the world. And today, you know, it feels like, I was telling Alex this the other day, I was like, I almost got kind of emotional talking about, like, it's been a quarter of a century, you know, like, it's been more than half of my life that I've been sober. And it's not just about not drinking or not drugging. It's about taking a look at your life and who you were, and, you know, taking a look at who you want to be in reflection to other people, looking at who your role models and your mentors are, constantly working on yourself, being open to change, being open to opportunities, you know. And like I've said before in the past, I'm a big believer in when opportunity meets desire, you know, doors open for all of us. And so it's been a pretty magical life that I have been able to lead the last 24 years, or 24 years and 11 months as of right now. It's been a pretty magical life, and you know, like Jimmy Stewart said, it's a wonderful life, you know, in the movie, and I'm very thankful for the life that I have today. I'm thinking about doing a lot of work specifically in December and focusing on what I want 2020 to be for me. It was funny, in my video the other day, I said 2020, and people were thinking I was talking about the 12 and 12, which is a recovery book, but I wasn't. I was talking about the year 2020. I think I'm going to focus a lot in December, well, first of all, in just enjoying my family and friends and the holidays, but also in who I really want to be going forward, what I want my focus to be, and things like that. And, you know, there's things I want to do that are not so deeply philosophical and esoteric, let me just say, okay? You know, like, one of the things I've really wanted to do the last couple years is, you know, like, you all know I want to get in great shape, right? Like, I would love, because I love fashion, to focus my Instagram, you know, on, like, getting into shape. My husband, like, takes a lot of time and effort, like, looking at outfits and things like that, and that is something that I really, really enjoy. And, you know, that's something that I would like to focus on going forward. I would also like to, you know, focus on my writing, because I have put that on the back burner the last couple years, you know, and I've been focusing more on that recently. And those are two, like, goals that I have for myself that I really want to do, of, like, kind of fun things, you know, fun things for me, not, like, these deeply insightful things. But if I'm not looking at who I am as a person, if I'm not looking at the way that I am affecting the world, or the world is affecting me, then I am not growing as a human being, and those things aren't possible, okay? And the reality is, for me, that as great as all of those things are, you know, having YouTube channels and getting views and getting subscribers and writing books and having a fun Instagram and all that kind of stuff, as much as all of that is fun, it's all rather superficial and means nothing without the deeper inside. And for me, like, that's where it all balances itself out, you know, that I can wake up on a daily basis and just be clear-headed and free and balanced, and then I can enjoy the rest of it, right? Because life is to be enjoyed. Life is to have fun. Like, there's no reason why we should not feel good about enjoying things like taking a selfie, or, you know, going out to dinner with your friends, or, you know, like shopping, even if that's something that you enjoy, or traveling, or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with those things, right? But maybe we need to work on who we are first, so that when we enjoy those things, you know, we've been working on who we are to enjoy those things. You know, RuPaul said something. There was an interview that RuPaul did with Oprah, and I watched it earlier. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's profound. You know, and she says in there something about, like, what do you think the meaning of life is? And he says to some degree that the meaning of life is, I can't remember the exact quote, but he says the meaning of life is to live your life and treat people well and enjoy your life as much as you can while you're here. You know, like, this isn't a dress rehearsal. And that's what I've said, you know, like, life is not a dress rehearsal. I say that in all of my vlogs, you know, when I close my vlogs out. My beard is driving my nose crazy, but to enjoy our lives as much as possible, because life is not a dress rehearsal, right? So do all the stuff that you want to do that's fun as well, and that's all part of it, you know, is enjoying it, and watching a Netflix show, or watching a movie, you know, and, you know, listening to a great audiobook, or reading a great book, you know, or just, like, hanging out with your friends. It doesn't always have to be super deep, you know? It's about enjoying life too, and I think, and paying homage to the life that we were given as a gift, it's about those things that are superficial. We want to sometimes look at the word superficial as negative, and that's not always the case, you know? Sometimes life doesn't have to be so deep, you know? Like I've said a lot, it's not always that deep, right? It's like, I think there are moments that we should just be enjoying life, period. Simply for that, for enjoying life, you know, and respecting the gift that we were given, you know, because for me, I do see that my life is a gift and my sobriety is a gift. And so I want to enjoy this life too, you know. It's like, I want to, you know, eat it like this great food that you just, this great dessert that you really, really enjoy, and you walk away and you go, oh my God, that was the greatest dessert I've ever had. And I want to look at life that way, everything in it, you know, every little thing that I enjoy, I want to really enjoy it and get into it, you know. But for me, I can't have blockage. I can't have distortion in my head from, you know, negativity and toxicity. I have to get rid of that, whether it's self-imposed or from other people. I have to get rid of that first, and that's really what the last year has been for me, is ridding myself of that toxicity and that chaos and that negativity that I've done myself, that I'm to blame for, as well as other people around me, you know, and trying to just get to this point where I wake up and I feel lighthearted. And today, I feel lighthearted. So that's just a little bit I wanted to share that on here. I know I'm 9 minutes in. I wanted to share that, where I'm at with that stuff today, you know, but like, I really do think it doesn't have to be like we're over here and we're like super, you know, philosophical, or over here and you're super superficial. Like, there is a happy medium that we can enjoy all this kind of stuff, you know. It's like, you know, you can be a very spiritual person and a very centered person and still enjoy a high-end purse. And I think that that sometimes is missed, you know. Or, you know, you can be a very spiritual person but want to just binge watch a show on Netflix. Like, it's just, it doesn't have to always be that deep. And I want to make sure that that message is clear, because I think sometimes, especially on this channel, it comes across like all we should be doing is just working on ourselves 24 hours a day. No, I mean, we need to be able to enjoy life too. Life is about that, right? And so, okay, let's get into these these meditations. It's gonna be a long video today. Okay, November 30th, my relationship with myself. Today I know that self-centeredness is not a correction for codependency. When I become as obsessed and preoccupied with the workings of my own mind and personality as I was previously about another person, place, or thing, I am essentially developing a codependent relationship with myself. The characteristics of codependency are delusion, denial, and repression. When I am constantly self-occupied and create these characteristics in an intrapsychic relationship with myself, I am codependent within me. How can I possibly have anything but codependent relationships outside myself if I can't let go within? The only dependency that really works is one on a higher power. From there, I see more clearly where the rest fits in. I create a healthy relationship with myself. Solitude is bearable only with God. Andre Gide. You know, it's interesting, this whole idea of self-centeredness and selfishness and self-centeredness, which in recovery we say is the root of, you know, all of our problems. And there's truth in that. I think also there are times that you have to put yourself first. And I think it's a fine line between walking. Are you being selfish in what you're doing, or are you putting yourself first? Like, one of the things I always say to people, and I think that like they miss this, but like for me, this is something that I have to do. I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself first, okay? I have to make sure that I'm in a healthy place first, right? Because if a friend reaches out and they need me, and I'm a mess in my head, and I'm blah, 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 whatever, you know, then I'm not there to take care of somebody. I can't be present for somebody else if I'm up in my head and I'm not taking care of myself. So I think that there has to be, in every day of our lives, a bit of selfishness, and whether that's, you know, a meditation that we do in the morning, or prayer, or doing a, you know, a face mask, or just relaxing, or getting a cup of coffee, or whatever that is, you know, or even some self-reflection on a daily basis, which I think is fantastic, or, you know, positive affirmations for ourselves, you know, telling ourselves good things that we should believe about ourselves. Whatever it is, or just going into the day and saying today is going to be an amazing day, and going into that with that kind of thinking, then we are prepared to help other people. And I think that there is a real fine line between total selfishness and whatever. You know, total selfishness to me and self-centeredness is not realizing that the things you do and the behaviors that you have and the things you say have an effect on other people. And that is what is truly selfish. And I realize today that the things I say, the things I do, whatever, they have an impact on other people, positively and negatively. And that's my choice when I wake up today. What kind of impact do I want to have on other people? And really thinking about, you know, like, who do I want to be of this world, in this world, you know? And each one of us has an effect on at least one other person out there in the world, you know? And so we have to decide how we want that impact to be effective, you know? So I think it's a great meditation. The last meditation I'm going to pick is from Nightlight by Amy Dean. November 30th. Simply to live is a wonderful privilege in itself. But to what are you alive? Is it merely to a daily routine? How much do you really live outside of your chosen profession or occupation? Henry Wood. From an acorn to a tree, the oak puts all its energy into growing as strong and tall as it can. Moisture, sunlight, and nutrition are gathered for its leaves, acorns, branches, and trunk. Yet if our oak tree takes all the moisture, sunshine, and nutrition, other nearby trees will be weaker and smaller. We have within us a forest that demands attention for its growth. A career tree, a family tree, a recovery tree, a parent tree, and a friendship tree. If we spend more time and attention on one than the others, the neglected ones will not grow strong. Every part of our lives should be important to us, our family and friends, as well as our recoveries and careers. It may be commendable to receive lots of promotions at work, but if our families are neglected, the forest inside of us will not flourish. Every part of life needs attention for us to succeed. Tonight, I can begin to balance my time. All areas of my life need attention. Okay, this is kind of a funny story, but when I got my second sponsor, I was looking for somebody that was just very honest and real. And I was in a meeting, and I actually knew my second sponsor indirectly through his wife because I worked with her. And so I was in a meeting with him, and the topic was balance. And so we were going around in the circle. It makes me kind of sad to talk to him a little bit. He passed from an opioid overdose. He passed from a heroin overdose years and years and years ago. But I learned so much from him, you know. Sometimes those that don't make it are our greatest teachers, and I have to say that he was somebody that taught me so much about how to be a person of character and how to always be honest. within yourself, at least to yourself. You have to, you know, be honest. And so anyway, we were in this meeting and we were talking about balance and how to balance your life. And it came to me, and this was at about a year and a half sober maybe. And so I was real into saying in meetings what I thought sounded really good, which is a waste of your time. Don't do it. You're wasting other people's time and you're wasting yours. Tell what's on your mind. Tell your truth, you know? And so I was in this meeting and I was like, oh, I do a great job of balancing my life and whatever. It was total crap. And it came to him and he said, I have literally no balance in my life whatsoever. I wish I did, but I don't know how to do it, you know? And so I went up to him afterwards and asked him to be my sponsor because it was that honesty and that integrity and that humility that I was looking for. And that was attractive to me. And he was my sponsor for many years after that. And anyway, you know, I think the idea of balance is great. You know, like, wouldn't it... I'd love to get on video and just tell you guys, like, I have it all figured out, you know, but I don't. And, you know, one of the things I did realize a year ago, though, was that I had my priorities way out of whack, you know, and the things I thought were important weren't. And today, I think I realize what things are important, even if I don't always put those things first. I know it, I'm aware of it, and I think awareness is the first thing. And, you know, I think we have to realize that our friends, our family, you know, our personal lives are really more important than other things. I had a friend of mine whose dad passed away. This was years ago. This is like 25 years ago. And I remember, and he had a massive heart attack, and he was young, like in his 40s. And I remember, because I was I was sober, so I was probably 22 or 23 at the time. And I remember talking to his mom on the phone, my friend's mom, and so it was her husband, and she said, I think that one thing, I said something like, you know, like, I don't like even know where to find the lesson in this. And she said, well, I'll tell you one thing that he would say is, don't spend all of your time working, because he was like a huge worker. You know, she said, I don't think that he would ever look back on his life and wish that he had worked more. He probably would have wished he had spent more time with his family. And I've always thought that, you know, that's always stuck in my head that, you know, always, if you have the ability, you know, because some people don't, some people have to work 2 and 3 jobs, but if you have the ability, spend that time with your friends and family. You know, there is a time that you just put the camera down and you don't engage in all of that if you're a YouTuber, you know? And if you're somebody that has the opportunity to maybe like not, you know, spin the numbers on a Sunday, you know, go and hang out. There's been a lot of times in the last couple months that it's been really good for me to just say, today I'm not going to film any videos. I love to film videos. I love to do that. A lot of us love to work, you know? A lot of us love and feel privileged to do the work that we do. But that doesn't mean that we always should, you know? Sometimes we should put that on the back burner and put other more important things first. So I think that's a great meditation, you know? And anyway, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. If you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And we're going to go into December. I'm going to try to post a video every day over here in December. So if you like my videos over here, please share them all over the place on Facebook and everywhere. Tell your friends to come watch my videos. That would mean a lot to me. And yeah, we're going to focus a lot on growth. I do want to say one last thing. I have just started the book that I was supposed to read for November over here, which is the 4 Agreements. So I will be finishing that in the next week. It's very short. I'll be finishing that in the next week, and then I will be announcing the December book that we're going to read for the self-help book over here. But I didn't want people to think that I wasn't doing that anymore, that I had forgotten about it. I am going to do it. I'm going to finish it this week, and then I will be doing my video about that, and then I will be picking the December book. So I'll pick something that's not super long that we can all enjoy and read for us, you know, self-help or motivational book in December. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.